Everybody, my name is Margaret Caramel, and I'm 20 years old. And it looks like I'm the youngest person in this room.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely. And all of you are probably going to already know what I'm going to say. That we need to fix this problem of carbon emissions in the atmosphere and fix global warming and climate change because of my children and because of my children's children. That's not true, and that's not what I'm here to say. We need to fix this problem today, right now, for the people that are currently living on this earth, for you and for me and for my parents and for my neighbors. Because the sea is rising at a rapid rate. There's pollutants in the air. Everyone before me has already talked. I don't need to repeat what they said about asthma, about flooding, and other problems. The fact is that companies who control this pollution like Dominion, they're going to tell you that we don't need regulation and we're going to do it ourselves and we'll take care of it, and we're companies and we're part of your community, voluntarism, we're going to do it. And that's a lie. Because all they want to do is they want to look out for their bottom line, they want to maintain the status quo, and at the end of the day, they don't care if in 100 years half the planet's on fire and the other half is underwater, if they kept their $50 million today. So we need to act right now, because the only people that are standing in the way between these companies letting our planet completely destroy itself is the government. And we need to let the government protect us, because that's why they're here. Thank you.
You're here. Our next speaker is Ron Shannon.
Skinner.
Skinner.
Close.
Sorry.
It's my handwriting, it's not you. All right. I guess the last but not least, perhaps?
Last on this list.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little extemporaneous, but I thought it was really important to come out and weigh in. I don't have a lot of statistics at my disposal. Can you hear me?
Yep.
No problem. I don't have a lot of statistics, but basically, I just want to express the general concerns. Well, basically, both of us in the room know it's here. I have relatives that live in Yukon. They've had permafrost melting, which has been frozen for 100,000 years. Every year they've seen it melting. They know it's melting. Everybody except the people who live in the bubble know that climate change is here. It's like a fact. Even though people can deny it and people can resist it, and lots of people would like to buy an alternate reality that keeps them in the middle of the profit circle. Life moves on. We didn't stop the Stone Age because we ran out of stones, or the Bronze Age because we ran out of bronze. There were better ideas. We had to say, hey, let's let go of this old stuff. It was fine. It got us here. Wow, look at how clever we are. But it is time to move on. We're too smart to stay here. No matter how many, quote, jobs we're going to lose, there are jobs that won't cost us. Of course, you're all, I guess I'm talking to the choir anyway, but if you follow what the costs of carbon have been, we didn't know the damage carbon would cause initially. We didn't know the damage atom bombs would cause. We didn't know a lot of things. As you learn, you adjust. We need to start allowing carbon to take its actual expenses into account, and we'll have to pay for them. And then we'll say, wow, they're not such a good deal after all. That's what we really, really have to. I'm a big fan of the carbon tax. I don't know if you're all familiar with Pigovian economics. It's kind of an obscure term, I guess. Pigov was a guy, I think he was from Hungary, Poland, something like that. He realized that capitalism had some flaws, because if you externalize your costs, you could get by without really charging what it costs the environment, or what it costs, There's a lot of things you can think of where the costs are actually higher if you figure in all of the effects you have. And certainly, burning coal, even burning natural gas, fracking, these all have a lot of costs which we allow us to be externalized. When you drill an average well to frack, you get a couple million gallons of water. Why don't they clean the water? I don't know, somebody lets them dump it, That's a cost they're passing on to other generations. They're putting it back on the water table really deep. But believe me, in a very short amount of time, we're going to be doing really deep to find water. It's kind of dumb to be messing it up. These costs are going to come back to us. We can't let the industries keep passing these costs on. We have these costs because I don't live just for myself. Granted, I don't expect to live a lot longer, but I don't think I'm dumping on my grandkids and their grandkids. That seemed like a pretty trashy thing to do. Anyway, but you know, it's not like it was that bad because there are so many jobs in the energy sector using alternatives. We would be far, far, far better off, healthier, etc., if we were to move over to that. All we have, to me, it's a kind of a simplistic version, I guess. I think of Virginia, and I think of progress, I think massive resistance. You know, we're going to stop this because we're afraid of it, because it's awful, because it's not America, it's not what we're used to. My grandpa didn't do this, you know. You have to give that kind of stuff up. There are more jobs right now. There are 3 times more jobs in the alternate energy sector than there are in the fossil fuel sector. My God, all you have to do is talk about it a little more, make it better known. The future is already here. Some people are standing in the way, but we just got to keep pushing. And I'm really hoping the DEQ, you've got to the end of this term to control the game. And by the end of this term, the jury will be in, the verdict will be known, people will stop denying it. So I would say run with the law. This is the game, we know it. Run with it and make it happen so Virginia can be a leader. You know, we can be a leader with this. We need the jobs for those coal miners and other people who are going to be displaced from these arcane industries we know. My favorite. Anyway, sorry. It's sort of hard to stand up here and talk to people. But I hope the DEQ does grab this and run with it, because that's where the future is. And holding back, well, we are progeny better. Thank you.
That is the last speaker I have. Angie, are there any?
No one else has signed up to speak, but
Does anyone want to speak who?
I signed up.
Oh. Go for it. I'm sorry, I missed you.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Stella. I live in Chesterfield. And I came last minute, so I didn't prepare something, because I had gone down to Washington last week to speak before EPA. And when I saw this was DEQ, I'm sorry to tell you that you're not my favorite organization. And I want you to know why. I live in Chesterfield, where you have said that fly ash is not a toxin, and we can't get rid of it. Now my organic garden is filled with probably remnants of fly ash that was put into the soil that was sold to me, and that you also, luckily we have this opening now to respond to the sludge you're saying is okay to put on our farms. I don't understand, you know, a DEQ is a government agency, and like so many government agencies, where you're here to protect the citizens, to protect this incredibly beautiful state we live in, which is so rich in resources, and to look at the economic benefits to Virginia, that I can't understand why citizens come last and corporate interests come first. I will write up, and I don't need to repeat the statistics on asthma, but I haven't heard anyone talk about the effects, maybe the cancerous effects and other effects of the toxins, maybe on the mental health of children, on the development of children, of the incredible amount of toxins that come out of the byproducts of coal, go onto our soil, go into our water. Just go to, if you're not sure it's going into our water, go to Dutch Gap and look at what Dominion spews into the waterway there. So we're talking about significant health problems, which all should be weighed into the cost of what it's costing, what coal costs to the state. Also, the environment, our beautiful environment. We don't have to talk about the big issues and the money that it's going to cost Virginia Beach to try to stay above water, so people will be talking instead of gargling. We have to start thinking about what the impact is, not only on the tourist industry, which is critical to Virginia, the naval industry, which is critical to the whole area down there, but rebuilding areas that are being destroyed by floods, tornadoes, all the other problems with climate change, and the impact on our agricultural industry, which is growing quite nicely, and we're exporting all kinds of products. What is that going to do once our soil is totally decimated, our air is decimated? Think about, if you want to look, you don't have to look, just look at China. China, where people can't breathe, where people, the air is so polluted, and that they just declared 8 million acres of land untillable because it's so filled with toxins from waste products of the coal that they burn and everything else. So I think the other thing is that we have to think about economic impact. I watch all this stuff, like, and I hate to get off target, but uranium mining. Uranium mining is going to bring jobs in. Yes, for about a year. Then it will bring a lot of health jobs, a lot of cleanup jobs, more money to the government with Superfund cleanup. What are we talking about? We can't look at economic development in a 2-year or 3-year period. We have to look long term. If President Reagan hadn't ripped the solar panel off the White House wall, today we'd be the leader in alternative energy. You don't see that picture floating around the internet that much anymore, because people more and more are realizing that was probably one of the stupidest things that America did. We could have been a leader, and Virginia can be the leader. We have droughts all over the Midwest where farming industry is. We want to keep our soil pristine. We want to keep our agriculture booming. We want to keep worry about our tides. And, you know, as Virginia goes, you know, the state of presidents, the country goes. We can do a turnaround. We could be a model for the whole country. So I hope that my opinion of DEQ is going to change drastically over the next couple of months. I'm going to be reminding you about what I think you should be doing and looking at it. But I'm looking forward to coming here next time and saying, damn, we're lucky to have DEQ defending us. So please think about that. Thank you so much.